What's good? What's good? We got my people here. I've been wanting to talk to him for a long time. Good college homie. I got my man C Live, Mr. Corey King. That's probably I'm sure that's on your birth certificate.
Yes,
What's
sir.
going
It
on,
is. It
fam?
is. What's up? What's up, L? How you doing, man?
I'm good. I'm good. I'm glad to have you on here because it's like I know you, but I don't know you. You know what I mean? Like we
Right.
know each
Yeah,
other,
yeah,
that
yeah,
all love, but don't
yeah,
know each
yeah.
other's background and stuff like that. So it'll be a dope
It's,
conversation. And
yeah, yeah. It's
I
gonna be
mean,
cool. It is kind of true. We just know each other from college, but didn't we hung, but not hung out. You know what I'm saying?
exactly,
But always still had that respect for.
exactly. Yeah, we never like got a chance to build before.
Yeah, 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 yeah. But still,
But
always say, man, you and of course your brothers, always the coolest cats.
appreciate that.
Cross.
Appreciate that. Word. And I and it's through Facebook, and I always admired you because you guys, seem and the vibe I get is just a dope dad. Um,
Mhm,
Before I used to, when people say tell me, oh, look like you really love your son, I'm like, I'm that's Facebook. You don't really know what goes on, but they like, yo, through the
mhm.
pictures, you can tell that there's a vibe there. I'm like, shit,
Yeah.
and watching you, with your boys and your wife, I see that.
Yeah, man. My boys, man, those are my two. It's funny, my wife told me a few years ago, and it always stuck to me. She was like, "So these are like your real life action figures."
I like it.
So like so like they're like my two, what I mean, my two homies, my two friends since they came into this earth, you know what I mean? And it's just such a blessing
Yes, sir.
and just that fatherhood thing, you know that feeling is just it just comes natural, like boom.
Yeah, yeah.
You didn't think it would, but it actually does.
And let me ask you, how old are they?
Uh well, my oldest Tyson, he just turned 12, and
Okay. Wow.
he actually on the 15th, and Carter April 30th, he just turned 9.
Okay, 9 and 12,
So
nice because they grow
yeah,
up together.
yeah. So
Yeah,
they pretty much for a couple of months, they're 2 years apart, but most of the year they're 3 years. But they basically each other's best friends too.
that's what's up. That's what's up.
Hmm.
Yo, and I gotta give you props too, because you hit it right on the head twice. Both of them look like you. The oldest one looked like you. The second one looked like the oldest one that looked like you. Like they both look like you.
It's funny. We hear everything. You know what I mean? Sometimes I hear they look nothing like you. They look just like their mother. But hey, either way, they
Really.
I say they twins. She says it too, but I appreciate somebody else finally seeing it too. You're one of the only.
Really, really. But well, yeah, they look like you to me. But as a man, we love for us, to hear that our kid look just
Yeah,
like
yeah,
us for real.
yeah, yeah. You
Once
now, you got he's split down the middle.
think
That's
so,
that's the
okay,
both of y'all. Oh yeah, he's split down the
okay.
middle. That's both of y'all. But I see you all day. But then when he has that
Exactly.
smile, I see wifey.
Oh, all right, got you, got you. Okay, that
Yeah.
explains. Because like I knew it was mine because when these came out, when I seen the eyebrows, like yeah, yeah, no test needed. He's definitely mine. Yeah, my grandmother said he was like 3 months old, and she was like, "What y'all do to this baby? You put a Sharpie on his eyebrow?" I'm like, "Nah, grandma, those are natural. He's
How
definitely
old is he
mine."
now?
He just turned 6, June 1st.
Okay. Yeah.
June
Yeah.
1st.
He's getting big,
So
man.
I know they grow fast, man. Just want to go ahead and get into it.
Mhm.
So how was it? How was it for you growing up? Was your father around, or what was your family situation like?
Well, growing up, from Boston originally. So you see that right there. My bad. So yeah, I'm from Boston originally, and my parents are from the islands. My mother's from Trinidad. My father's from Barbados.
See that
They
right there.
divorced. Yeah, well, yeah. I was like, man, I didn't even get me a drink, but that's
I'm
that
drinking
dad stuff. You
Gatorade.
don't even look. Me too about drink right there.
Yeah, you gotta get up and work out and all that. So Gatorade.
Yeah,
My bad, I didn't mean to cut you
the
off.
cabinets don't have alcohol until the
Not like it
weekends
used to.
anymore.
Nah,
That's when you know
exactly.
we old. We getting
Yeah,
old.
yeah, yeah. So you said
But
who's from Barbados?
So my father's from Barbados, my
Okay.
mother's from Trinidad,
Oh,
and
all right.
but they divorced when I was 7. But my father, still in my life, see him, weekends casually, and we always hung out, never no issues.
Okay.
Um, and then he moved to Florida when I was about 14,
Mm,
and so I spent the summers there too, sometimes
okay.
for about 3 years. And so yeah, we had a cool relationship, but no, I didn't grow up. I grew up, with single mom.
Think basically mom do. Let me ask you, at 14, with pops moving at that time, did that affect you? Because you can't see him as often. And I know that
Yeah,
teenage years, like 12, 13, 14, is kind of pivotal, I think, for at
yeah,
least young
yeah,
males.
yeah. I think it's pivotal, but I think from probably the fact of growing up still with really my mother mainly in the house, the main parent. It was, of course, affect you. You're gonna miss him, you know what I mean? But I don't think it was like very impactful as far as
Okay.
like heartbreaking because I was still used to just mom in the crib, you know what I
Mm-hmm.
mean? But of course, but on the flip side, um, when I went to visit him, like my first year, leaving, and it's funny because it's still there'll be times if I think about it, I may water or something. I'm gonna be 45 in September. But leaving my first year, I remember bawling, crying on that plane. You know what I mean? So that's
Yeah.
funny how you asked that question. So no, at the beginning, it was like, all right, cool, see you. You know what I mean?
Uh-huh.
I will event. I have a new place to visit or something. You know what I mean? But then leaving after spending a whole summer, that's when it hits you. You know what I mean? Like,
Wow.
oh, okay. And that was a rough ride flying back home, dolo, 14 years old on the plane. You know what I mean? And I remember, so I still remember that. You
Yeah,
know?
yeah. Oh, yeah, that's interesting. Oh, do your boys have a good relationship with your pops? Do they get to
Yeah,
see
yeah,
him?
yeah, yeah, yeah. My pops lives in Georgia, so
Okay.
we and my mom's live out in Georgia, and my sister, so we go out there and visit every so often. My mother and my father, interestingly, like you know, all jokes aside, because there could be jokes with it, but no, they actually have a real cool relationship.
Oh, no, no, I get it.
Really, but really like friends, like you know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? Like my pops lives, maybe about 20 minutes, 25 minutes away from where they live. And, weekends come, especially if we come down, he's there every day, I mean, coming through, hanging out for the day, and then, going about his business. But, and my mom's will call, hey, come through, made something, whatever the case. So they got a cool relationship too.
Yeah. Yeah, that's
Yeah.
what's up. Seeing my parents. It's like they become better friends.
Yeah.
In fact.
It was ugly at, the early days, beginning,
Yeah.
when it first went down, like, oh, what's going on up in
Yeah,
here?
yeah, yeah, yeah. Yeah, I don't even want to hear it. You wouldn't be like,
Yeah,
just
yeah,
disappear for a minute and come back or
yeah.
whatever. Nah, no, I get
but
it.
but that's but that stage was always like when they divorced. I
Hmm.
didn't go through when they were together. If they ever had any issues, I would only know through hearing stories. I'd never experienced in the house
Oh,
them
that's
having
great.
issues. So I'll say kudos to their split as far as
Yeah.
my experience. You know what I mean?
Yeah. And let me, because I know how it goes in my house, but in your house,
Mhm.
like, is it like a good cop, bad cop? Are y'all both on the same side? The wifey be like, "Oh, calm down," or how's that work?
It's funny because as me as being the guy, but mom's is the one that will sometimes be a little bit tougher. Sometimes, you know what I mean. I kind of still have that soft heart sometimes, and she kind of
Okay,
have to come in,
get out the way. Okay,
him they ass up. So
word.
yeah, not, but not
I know
not
what you say.
but yeah, 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 not physically, but
No, no,
she'll
I
get in
get you.
their ass if she got to, even at their age, and where I'll kind of be like, man, let's talk this through, whatever the case. There will be the good cop, bad cop moments, but
Hmm.
she's the one that be more, she's from funny, talking about Boston talk. She's actually from Brooklyn.
Nice.
You know, for everyone that don't, we live in North Carolina now. But I met her here. But
Okay.
she grew up here, but she's from Brooklyn. She got 4 brothers. So it was her parents. She grew up with her parents. So that kind of, the funny part is that actually I think has a lot to do with that good cop, bad cop experiences too. You know what I'm saying? I think it's a different, even though I didn't experience it myself, I think it's a different relationship when it comes to uh, having to, discipline when it's a single parent versus mom and dad in the house. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? So she grew up with that tough, with 4 brothers and her pops having to get in them. So she has that in her. Where
Got you.
me, growing up with single dad, that's just the weekend.
And
All
you're
right,
only child.
no, I'm saying is me and my sister.
Okay.
My sister, she's 5 years older,
Okay.
and then actually we have a brother and sister that live in Barbados. My father have 2 other children. They're older.
Okay.
But just growing up, me and my sister. But the discipline wasn't as aggressive because that's you see them when it's the good times, the weekends. It's moms
Yeah.
that have
Yeah.
to handle that.
True. True.
You
True.
know what I mean? So grown now as the adult, you kind of we both have that reverse in a way sometimes of handling that because she's the one that grew up with the pops in the house. You know what I mean?
Got you.
So yeah, so that's where she can be more bad cop sometimes, but most of the times, honestly, for the boys, and I'm not even just saying it to say it's rare having to have those moments. Like I'm blessed. Like
Yeah.
these boys
They're
are
good
cool.
kids.
Got some
Good
cool
boys.
boys. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah. They do. What I know is for my nephews and my son. Like my son is definitely a good kid. Again, like not because
Hmm.
of my child, but he's really a good
Right,
kid.
right.
Like I
Hmm.
don't really have to put my hands on him, but
Hmm.
they do boy stuff. The
Yeah,
stupid shit we do just because we
yeah,
boys.
yeah,
They
yeah.
just
My
do boy
youngest,
stuff.
Carter. Yeah, yeah.
They're not bad, and it's funny. My son's his middle name is Carter.
Oh wow. Okay. Yeah.
Yeah,
And what's
yeah,
his
but
first
he
name? Yeah.
Bryce.
Bryce. Okay. Yeah. Because
Yeah, I know.
I
Nobody
only
knows his real name.
because we only know Nugget, little Nugget.
Exactly, because I just never put it out there. I'm like,
But
I'm already
nah,
sharing
but
my
yeah.
son with you, so
Yeah, yeah,
I never
yeah, yeah,
bothered to put his whole
definitely.
name out
Yeah, and
there.
that's rare too. I really put Tyson or Carter, especially except for as a birthday or something, you know what I mean?
Yeah, yeah,
But normally it's just pictures, you know what I mean?
exactly.
But yeah, but yeah, okay, Bryce Carter. All
Yeah,
right.
yeah.
Okay.
It got a flow. She like his first name is the only name we could agree on. She went through a million names. I'm like, no, no, nah,
So
no. Bryce is the only thing we could agree on. And Carter, I got from a character I read. It was a book I read. And it was kind of like, yeah, it was a cartel, and the
mhm,
characters real smooth, real cool,
uh-huh.
And his name was Carter, and I always admired that character. So I was like, yeah, I definitely want to have a child. I'm gonna name him after Carter.
So I got a pretty like counter, a wow counter to you. So Carter, of course, is Carter, my second child. For Tyson, it was actually I was thinking either Bryce or Bryson. Ain't
Oh,
that
wow.
crazy? Yeah, and here's the even crazier part. So, um, my 2 children are my 2 blood children. My oldest is actually 23, which is
Okay.
CJ, which is my wife's first child,
Hmm.
but that's still my son
Of
as
course.
well. The craziest part about it is here's where we'll keep going with the wows. CJ,
Corey.
Corey Jr.
Wow. Crazy. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
Here's the
Definitely.
craziest part with that story. When I was a child, I was like, if I had a son, I'll either name him Corey Jr. But if I didn't, I always had, for some reason, Tyreek was the name in my head. Guess what CJ's middle name is?
Nah, you lying.
No lie. No lie.
Wow. Yo, that's
Ain't that
some
crazy?
real
Yeah.
manifestation.
Ain't that crazy?
Wow.
And it's funny too because like I don't even want to sound crazy, but when I was younger, I used to always have this silhouette of this wife and this
Yeah. Nah.
visual, this vision.
Uh-huh. And
And
that's wifey.
Yeah, like not even just saying it to say it. So that you do if you that word is amazing. Manifest. It
Yeah,
does.
no,
It
it
is
is, it
real.
is. Yeah,
It's real.
I
Even when
see
you
it.
don't even know it. Even when you don't know it. I was a kid. You don't know it that you're actually
Of course
manifesting
not.
it. You know what I'm
No,
saying?
wow, that's bananas. So
Yeah.
let me ask you though, as growing up as a young
Mhm,
kid, well, you said
mhm.
that's what you envisioned. Did you envision having two boys with it in your head growing up as a kid? What did you think your family would be, or what did you want?
I just I actually thought I always knew I was gonna be married. Um I didn't think I was going to like not have a family.
Okay.
So I did always have that thought process. But I always thought it was just going to be the typical boy and girl, you
Okay.
know.
Yeah, yeah. One
And it
to
was
one.
funny because my sister, she's older than me, and I actually used to have that kind of thought process. Like if I had a boy and girl, I kind of would want the girl first. Um, why? I don't know. I just kind of thought my thought process was like as the dad is just get all the huggy lovey my baby
Yeah, yeah.
girl out the way, and then boy comes in and
Yeah,
you know
yeah.
yeah. So but two boys, and but there was mm, after I thought Carter was going to be a we for a second I was wondering if Carter was going to be a girl,
Uh-huh.
and then once we found out he was going to be a boy, it was cool. It wasn't no like disappointment. It was like, all
Yeah, as
right,
long as
cool.
they're healthy.
Yeah, yeah. And then I'm like, three boys, wow, But there were moments where I wanted to, but I didn't want to try again another boy.
That,
So I was
that was
like,
my next question.
yeah, I'm good.
You said, nah, I'm not
Yeah,
shooting no more
yeah,
hair.
yeah, yeah, yeah. We got our niece. We got our niece Ava. That's our baby. So
Okay.
we good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Nah, yeah, I was up for whatever, as long as it come out healthy. I didn't really, I didn't care.
Yeah.
And I'll be honest with you, with me, like if you ask my
Mhm.
family, I never wanted kids. Growing up
Yeah.
as a kid, yeah, it's just a lot. Growing up the 80s crack era, and I just
Yeah.
was kind of like just a little scarred. So
Hmm.
I was like, nah, I never want to bring nobody into this world. And so I just really like never wanted kids. And the craziest thing, and it's gonna sound ridiculous, but I was watching something and I saw Carmelo with his son
Hmm.
and they gave each other like that. And I was like, yo,
It
I
just
want that companionship, you know what I mean?
yeah,
And
yeah,
from then I
yeah,
was like, you know what? That wouldn't be bad to have a kid, you know what I mean? So,
yeah,
and
yeah.
you just,
That's dope.
we give them the tools so, they
Hmm.
can conquer this world, or, move through this world safely and
Yeah,
intelligently. So I
yeah,
got over
yeah.
it.
That's cool. And then
Yeah.
once he came into this world, you was
Yeah, yeah, like
daddy.
yeah, 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 and wifey, she's great. So it's like you feel like whether it works or not, she was
Hmm.
definitely the perfect person. But it was, we planned this. It was no
Yeah,
mistake,
yeah,
anything
yeah.
like that.
Right, right.
But
Yeah, yeah, yeah,
just like your wifey meet her, and you just like, oh yeah, she's perfect, like
yeah, yeah,
perfect
yeah,
personality
yeah.
kid. But yeah, no, and
How
she's
about
definitely great.
are you all set? Is that it or
Yeah, man. Yeah, man. Yo, Phil, I'm gonna be damn near 60 when he go to college. Like
yeah?
59, like so. Nah,
I don't mean nothing.
not
Nah, I'm just
chill.
messing with you. I'm just messing with you.
But yeah, I'm working out,
Hmm.
gym, boxing, try to keep the
Yeah,
stamina up to keep up with him. So I could only imagine
yeah,
you with two of them.
yeah, yeah, yeah. I actually, you've always been, I mean, you've always taken care of yourself. Me, I relied on just being tall and slim and young.
Yeah.
And then, I have my up and down moments, and same, it's like, I got to a point where no lie, and I'll eventually like show my little testimony, like my transition, but there was a point where I was 285. No lie.
Word?
You probably, I always wore big clothes. I always
Yeah,
made
of
sure,
course.
and I'm
Oh,
tall.
yeah, it was
So
like
it's like,
probably what early no, we used to graduate in 97. So
no,
that's like
this is,
2000 when that stuff was mad baggy.
yeah, yeah. But no, I'm talking about like, this is about 3 years ago. This
Really?
is,
Oh,
and
okay.
but
Yeah,
when
I
I say
missed that.
big clothes, it was like I just always knew how to kind of fit it. So even if I posted pictures and stuff, you know what I'm saying? I'm wearing
Okay.
a 4X jacket. It looked like a 2X because I'm tall,
Yeah.
but I'm covering up that gut, that belly, and man, just started to I have asthma and stuff was just not going well with me. And then you start thinking like you watching your boys looking at you. My boys know what this is.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And they looking concerned when you out of it and stuff like, hold up, they're too young to be worrying about
Yeah.
daddy. You know what I mean? I gotta get my stuff together and then just snap. Like, all right, I gotta
Yeah.
get it.
That's
You
my
know?
greatest fear though, is leave this planet.
Yeah,
With him being young. Not,
yeah.
before I get to give him all I've
Hmm.
got and, see him grow, in
Right.
age. So that's my greatest
Yeah.
fear. So I always try to get even my friends with kids. That's my guilt trip
Hmm.
when I be trying to stop them from just being reckless, with health wise. And trust
Yeah.
me, I'm no Richard Simmons or health guru. I just try to be conscious. So
Hmm.
my guilt trip is kind of like, yo, fam, man, if you gotta watch these babies grow, man, you need to really like
Yeah.
slow down. You know what I mean? That kind of
Yeah.
thing.
Yeah.
Put the guilt
Yeah.
trip on them.
Yeah, yeah, but it's the truth. It's the truth, especially us black men, you know.
Yeah,
Yeah, so they already prepared for us to be out of here. Even just just based off health, take safety away.
hmm
Take, just what about 50? You know what I mean? So they already counting us out so
I
early
know.
in life, you know what I mean? So we gotta prove them wrong. We gotta turn this around, man.
Yeah, no question. Like I said, gotta be here for our boys and our girls
Hmm.
too. I'm not gonna leave them
Yeah,
out.
yeah, yeah,
And,
yeah. Yeah.
I always remember you as an athlete.
Hmm.
So are they both athletic, or either one of them into sports, one not?
So my oldest is not. He's more the weird part is my oldest is like the computer kid.
Okay.
I used to joke and say he's my geek, but that's not in
Yeah,
a geek is cool. You know what I'm saying? Like,
no, it is.
we participate in groups that we all consider ourselves geeks and stuff on
True.
Facebook and stuff, comic books and Marvel and all that stuff. So that's my oldest. He's into the video games and all that stuff. And I used to try to push and pressure.
Yeah.
My youngest though, he's the athlete. He loves every sport. He's the flipper. We about to try to get him into just gymnastics actually. Like this boy will cartwheel since he was probably, I don't know, about 3, 4 years old, just flipping all over the place. So he's the athlete. And the interesting part is my make sure that door closed.
No
But
question.
so my but my youngest has to work harder, right?
Uh-huh.
My oldest though, as much as he's like just the geek and stuff, I don't know if it's because of like the mathematics, the precision. Like you give that boy a ball, like his jump shot is so on point.
Natural.
Football, natural, just don't even have to teach him how to catch, run, you know what I'm saying? He
Yeah.
just don't care for it. But it's just natural, you know what I mean? I always say like he must be like calculating it, like watching the calculations of the distance, of the velocity of the ball, all that stuff. But
Yeah.
it's just natural, you know what I mean? But I won't force him and pressure him because he's 12,
Yeah.
by the time he get into he's going into the seventh grade, by the time who knows by that time, and you know, he might see something and it just might turn around. Or if it don't, nothing wrong with that. And
He sounds like I would say like a Kyrie Irving type, like because I believe Irving is great at what he does, but he
mhm,
doesn't necessarily love it.
just natural,
Like,
just
yeah,
nice.
this comes easy for me, but
Yeah,
I don't love
yeah,
it. And not to knock,
mhm,
what his beliefs are, or nothing like that. But just
yeah,
sometimes it's
yeah,
kind of like nonchalant, like whatever,
yeah,
And
yeah.
I ain't mad
But
at
you
him.
know what? And it's funny. I don't, we all. I won't get too deep in the sports. We got another. We could talk separately. We'll talk that for hours. But
Yeah,
I kind of
exactly.
feel that way with Kevin Durant too, though. Like I
Yeah,
feel KD, like he just wants to play ball. He's just a natural baller. Like even when we beat them, he seems like the type that he went. you know, like when you used to go play ball, and you know, like how, for instance, Ace, we had our squad, right?
Yeah, that
And
was
if
tough.
we lost, if we lost, we're coming back with our five. You got certain people that who got you got an extra spot. If they lost, hey, can I get on your team?
Yeah,
That's seems like a Kevin Durant. He probably played ball that same night.
yeah.
He went to a
I
park or
feel you.
something. He just don't just natural, you know what I mean?
I
So
feel
that's
you.
where the winning is not as intense to them. You know what I'm saying? It's just they just know they gifted. You know what I mean? So yeah, Tyson, he got a little bit of that in him.
So so I have a question for you. How you feel about these participation trophies?
Which one is like?
Well, I'm just saying in general, because you know some sports they give all the
Mhm.
kids trophies just because they
Oh
showed up, or like,
yeah. It, I mean, there's levels. I think you know, like early, you know, beginners, of course, every kid should get something, you know what I mean?
okay,
But I think once you get to a next level, you know, like, you know, you gotta earn, you know what I
yeah,
mean? And you can't just, you know, it gives a wrong message, you know what I mean, that you don't have to really work hard, and you know, and winning is not that important. It's just all about just playing, you know what I mean? So nah, I'm not 100% behind that. But
yeah.
early, you know,
No,
your
you're
first
right. You're right.
year, first little league or whatever, your first time, yeah, everybody gets some,
Yeah.
you know.
No, you know what, you're right. I'm totally against it, but like you said, early age wise, yeah, it makes sense.
Mhm.
Yeah, no, it
Yeah,
definitely
yeah.
makes sense. Yeah, I just became a sport parent this year.
How was
So my
that?
it's a whirlwind of emotions because my son at this time he's 5, and they
Hmm.
only 5 year olds. But you want them to be good, but then you want to have fun, but you want them to win too.
Right,
So,
right, right, right.
and you know, 5 year olds, 505 up and down the court is just a hilarious catastrophe. Like it's funny and it's frustrating all at the same time. But he's decent. He's pretty good. He's pretty good.
Yeah.
One of the best ones on the team.
Oh,
And
okay.
then also my nephew. We adopted my wife's 2 nephews. So
Okay.
my
How
nephew,
old are
his
they?
sis, they are they just their age just turned. So now they're 12 and 13.
Oh, okay. Okay.
Yeah. So one of them he wanted to play flag football and he never played any kind of sports. So we
Hmm.
was like, all right, we'll sign you up, let's do it, you know. And
Hmm.
I realized like it didn't come natural for him, like he couldn't catch for nothing. I thought all boys just grew up with the instincts to catch, and I
Hmm.
realized that's not true. I mean, hands wide open, and it was just still. I'm like, you gotta be kidding! This is not right, you know. And
Yeah.
and he just never had nobody do that with him. But you know, I
Hmm.
worked with him and he got better. And last season he was you know, just coming along. A lot of kids on the team
Hmm.
had played football before, so you know, they was a little
Hmm.
better, but he had his moments here and there, but he's getting better
Hmm.
every game. So I was like, okay, he's coming along.
Hmm.
This season had a really good season and he played better and he balled out. And I told him, I was like, yo, you know, I'm really proud of you. You worked at it and you were good. But at the
Hmm.
same time, I'm also proud of you because you was having a problem with multiplication tables and you worked at it and got better. So I want
That's
you just
dope.
to keep that in mind. You gotta work
Yeah.
towards it and be better. Don't just say I can't. You know what I'm saying?
Right, right, right. That's what's up. That's
But yeah,
dope.
it's
Yeah.
definitely it's fun and frustrating at the same time.
Right, right, right. Yeah. It is. You know, just trying to that's you know, one of my challenges I do come across is like, you know, trying to, you know, when it comes to confidence and, you know,
Yeah,
trying to kind of
build that.
uh, build that, you know, lead coach, you know, even not, when I say coach, just in the house, not a sport, you know what I mean? It's like you are kind of coaching your kids, you know,
Yeah,
and so it's like, you know, it's a thin line between it could be motivating or damaging. You know what I mean?
true, true.
You know, so
You ain't
as
lying.
the, you know, that's the challenge of trying to, you know, especially when you come across, you know, like if they do have issues with confidence in something or
Yeah.
shyness, something like that. You know what I mean? So
But I think sports
again,
is great for that, and that's for my nephew too. He's shy, but it
yeah.
definitely opened him up, and I think sports is great for that. And it took me a long time myself to get out of my shell because I never played organized sports. I was just a
Hmm.
hood athlete. Like I played in the
Yeah.
park, tackling
Yeah.
the street, that kind of thing, but never
Yeah.
organized.
Same for me. Well, not never, but it was late. I started late. I had same thing, just at the parks and all that stuff. And I was always tall and all that stuff, but shy. And so it really wasn't until my sophomore year in high school was my first year playing ball. Um, and so even my freshman year, coming into school, and then the crazy thing is I went from I went to a Catholic middle school, and then I went to a school, Boston Tech, or John D. O'Brien, and that's like right in Roxbury, Mass. It's like right down the street from Dudley Station. That's one of the, it was a pretty rough area.
Okay.
Matter of fact, the history behind that's where Red grew up. Red, Malcolm X. That's where he
Oh,
was from.
okay.
Yeah.
Oh, all right.
So even if you watch the movie Malcolm X, the early days and stuff,
Yeah,
that area where him and Spike Lee were, that's where I went to high school, in that area.
got you.
So, but the area was pretty rough and stuff. But so coming from a Catholic, middle school going into and then we didn't even have to take we had to take public transportation. We didn't have a school bus. So
Yeah,
that was a big culture shock,
yeah, yeah.
So my freshman year, I was kind of, and then back to single mom, growing up with just your mom. Um, so there are that little shynesses and stuff like that. Of
Mm-hmm.
course, growing up with them, with your mom, is just schoolwork, focus on getting your grades and all that stuff. There's other things that it's not her fault, but as a mother, they miss with certain things
Yeah,
raising
because
a boy.
can't
You
do
know what I
everything.
mean?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, and then she had to raise two kids, you know what I mean? So, going into high school, that fear, that scare, that shyness, you know, didn't really have no one to really talk to about that. As cool as I was with my pops, we didn't really have those type of combos, you know what I
Same
mean?
here. Yeah.
So so now fast forward, just to make it quick, now I'm the parent having to raise. So it's kind of still, you learning and doing at the same time, you know what I mean? And so, but it's still through your experience, you kind of gotta,
Build
like I
on it.
said, that thin line, you gotta be careful with how you want to really push it, because you knew what you experienced and what what helped and what also hurt, you know what I
Yeah.
mean? So, yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Same here. Trying to just build the confidence in both of them. And I mean, but you're aware of it. So
Mm-hmm.
that's great. As long as you're aware of it. Because
Mm-hmm.
same, like I said, I was the same way, shy growing up. So
Mm-hmm.
and Mom Dukes is doing everything in the three of us. So, that's just probably something that she just didn't have time to focus on when you got
Yeah.
three kids and like building confidence.
Mm-hmm.
So
Are you the only
no, I'm
guy,
the
or you have a
oldest.
brother?
Yeah,
Okay.
I got a brother and sister. I'm the oldest.
Okay. Okay,
Oldest of
cool.
three. Yeah.
Yeah.
So yeah, I'm not gonna keep you too much longer, but I want to ask you, because you're also a DJ.
Hmm.
So anybody pick up the music trait? Anybody like could dance? Any of them spit? Like what?
Yeah, my they both dancers, and but nothing as far as well, music now, yes. Because my wife's father played the saxophone.
Okay.
Um and his father used to play the piano. They both were photographers as well. And all of that traditionally is coming down to where my wife now is a professional photographer.
I
She
see.
kind of basically took on that when my father-in-law passed away, and
Oh,
my and she's just rocking and rolling. And but we have actually her grandfather's piano and her father's saxophone, and Tyson plays both.
Wow.
So yeah,
Right.
as far as that and instrument wise, as far as music now, as far as the technical DJ and all that stuff, not there yet, but
They say.
they're at the best part of it, learning the instruments now,
Yeah,
So,
yeah. Oh, no, no, that's dope.
once they get into high school and stuff like that, because Tyson was in his, he played in his band this year for the first time at school, played the saxophone too at school, so just gonna
Oh,
keep
that's dope.
growing.
Well,
Hmm.
not gonna hold you. I'm gonna wrap it up.
Okay.
First, I also want to two things. I want to say Happy
Mhm.
Father's Day to you.
Happy
Um,
Father's Day to you too, man.
and also, I know I've told you this before every now and again, and I'm gonna repeat it anyway. But I
Hmm.
just always admire like seeing us because of course we was boys, we was young boys when we met,
Hmm.
and
Hmm.
you was a wild boy, and to see you grow up, two handsome kids, beautiful family, like I'm really proud of you. You know what I mean?
Oh man, I appreciate it, man. I remember,
Nah,
matter
definitely.
of fact, when I seen you a few years ago at one of our other friends' wedding, you told that to my wife, and I was
Oh
like,
yeah.
I'd be there chuckling.
Yeah,
But
yeah,
yeah,
yeah.
man, I do
I'm older.
appreciate
I repeat the same shit over and over. But I didn't.
it.
I know I must have told you that yourself once or twice. But
Yeah, yeah,
fuck it.
yeah. No,
I'm gonna
no.
tell
So
you
yeah,
another
that
10 years
I
anyway.
appreciate it. Hey, look, keep telling me, man. I appreciate it, man.
Yeah, no doubt, no doubt. I
Good to always
definitely.
have people like you in my life too, man.
Oh
Appreciate it.
man.
People
Oh,
that
thank you,
look.
thank you. I
Hmm.
appreciate you rocking out with me.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, man. Yeah, it's been a minute. I probably just come on back sometime. I'll hit you up,
Yeah,
let you know
definitely,
when.
man.
But
Yeah,
nah, I
definitely.
definitely
I had fun,
appreciate
man.
you.
All right.
Take care of that beautiful family. Have a good night.
I will. I will appreciate you reaching out, man. I definitely, once again, I feel appreciated just for you to even, I'm honored. So thank you so
Don't worry
much.
about it.
And I know
No
you got to
doubt.
go, so we'll talk, man. Appreciate
Yes,
it.
sir. Take care,
All
fam.
right, man. You too.
Later.
Peace.